Hello, this is Daniel Purcell with Now Habersham, coming to you from the Now Network studio here in the downtown Clarksville Square. Now we're talking. This is your go-to community affairs podcast where meaningful conversations spark action and inspiration. Today we're sitting down with Kenzie Chitwood, the Public Relations Chair of the Habersham County Special Olympics. The conversation starts now. Kenzie, so great to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, today we're talking about something very unique. It's very special to you, but to a lot of us in Habersham County, we don't really know about it. We might have heard stuff about it. We may see Facebook posts, Instagram posts, but we don't actually get to know the heart of it like you do. And that's why we're sitting down with you today talking about it. But before we get into the meat of the substance, really just introduce us to you. Who is Kenzie Chitwood?
So I'm Kenzie. I graduated from Habersham. This community has always just been super special to me. They raised me, made me who I am today. I've born and raised here. And so over the past 2 years, going to college and stuff, I've just been trying to find every opportunity to give back and really get involved in the place that is near and dear to my heart. So in high school, we have this class called youth leadership, and I was really involved in that. And so we would bring all of our youth leadership people over and we would be buddies. So I was a buddy for 2 or 3 years. I was always just super involved in the Special Olympics just by that standpoint. But this year I've kind of gotten another viewpoint of it, being the public relations chair and just seeing what goes on behind the scenes in the meetings and just on social media and stuff like that. And just trying to get everybody in the community as involved as possible. And I feel like that has grown this year and we have raised awareness when it comes to growth in the community.
Amazing. Awesome. Love hearing that. Growth is always amazing. So you said you were a buddy. Explain to me, what is a buddy?
So basically, they pair you up with someone that they think you'd be good with. And you basically just get to hang out with this person all day long. You get to learn about them. You get to talk to them. You get to do sports. You get to play games, stuff like that. Just really be a person that they can feel like is a friend for the day. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's really important for them.
Would you say it's far from an assignment, but it's actually like the beginning of a friendship?
100%. I would say that inclusion is an action, not just a word. And I feel like whenever you take people that are the same age as these kids, like high school kids, they're not different than us. Their disability doesn't define them. And I feel like whenever we show them that we can be friends with them just like everybody else, that's so important and that's so valuable.
That's amazing. I love that. You spoke to, their high school age people. You've got some middle school and maybe some even younger. They're not just students, but on that day they're athletes. I think that's so cool that's like, hey, this is for you. We're making it as big as possible.
Yes.
What is it about Special Olympics that makes this a lasting impact? Not just a day, but like a memory, a core memory.
I would say community. And I already kind of touched on what the community meant to me. But whenever you think about what the community means to all of these people, they might not get the opportunity every single day to be seen, to be heard by every single person in Habersham. But I feel like this day is so special and it leaves an impact because people show up and they make people feel included. And these kids just have purpose whenever they leave and they walk out with smiles on their face. And it's just so rewarding to watch.
Speaking to the community aspect, tell us a little bit about the opening ceremonies, because for the Olympics that we watch on TV, the opening ceremonies, it's what it's all about. Tell us how that compares.
I'll say, if you want to get chill bumps, come to the opening ceremony. So we start out having a pep rally, and this was another cool thing. When I was in high school, I got to MC all the pep rallies. And so this was definitely one of my favorite pep rallies because just the smiles on their face, you could feel the joy radiating through the whole gym. So we would start in the gym. The kids march over to the 9th grade academy where the football field is. And we unload all the buses there. They'll line up around the track, and the homecoming king and queen for the Special Olympics will lead the parade. And they kind of just do a march around the track, pass the torch. One of them does like a little sprint, and then We highlight our artwork winners for the shirt contest and then declare the games open.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to be there on site while it's like the opening ceremonies, and it's very much, it's a very regal event. It feels special because the stands aren't just full of, their classmates or whatever. It's full of the entire high school comes out there, the entire ninth grade academy, the public comes out there just to cheer on these athletes as the games begin. And even like you said, passing of the torch, it's so Olympic.
It is.
The fanfare, the music, just the energy is there. And it's a sense of like, hey, we're all in this. We're all here for you. We're all here with you. It's just, like you said, the great sense of community.
Yeah.
We can hear from your voice that you're very passionate about this. Both the community aspect, the athletes, everything that goes into it. And even we're before the games right now, but say that the listeners of this are joining in and they're like, hey, I'm hearing the passion. I really want to be there to cheer on these athletes, support them, give them every bit of heart that I can. How do they do that? When do they do that? What are the details of the actual event?
So I would say April 4th is our date this year. We do have a rain date, but we're praying that we don't even have to throw that out there. We're hoping for the best. 9:30 a.m. is whenever we'll start the parade. So I would just get over to the ninth grade academy, be in the stadium, have your signs ready, be ready to cheer with all your heart. And we will start the events right after the opening ceremony. We'll have a few people speak. One of the Olympians will say the pledge, show off their artwork, and declare the winners, and then declare the games open.
Amazing. So cool. I'm really excited. I know that this year and every year in the past has always been it's just such a heartwarming moment.
Yes.
And it's not because, like you said, it's not that these are different people or their disability defines them. These are our friends. These are the people that we have community with on a day-to-day basis. Why don't we just come together and like support them and just be like, hey, I'm proud of you. You're doing great.
And seeing your friends also volunteer and be buddies and be involved is so special too. And it actually creates like a bigger bond for you guys too. Because I'll say whenever I was in high school, like I talked about our youth leadership class, whenever we would go over together, it was such a bonding experience. And we all became so much closer just because seeing each other serve and seeing each other be involved and being who the Special Olympians needed really just created an environment that grew our community.
Wow. This is very much the heart behind the humanity that we see.
Yes.
So if I can't be a buddy, how can I get involved? How can people from the public, businesses, how can we get involved to support these athletes, Special Olympics and everything?
So I would say definitely follow our social media to stay up to date on that kind of stuff. And if you feel led, if your business wants to donate, we have opportunities for that. You guys can reach out. Our director this year for Special Olympics is Ashley Webb. She works at the board office. And so you can reach out to her for more information on that also. And we can get you guys plugged in. But I think the most important thing for our community to hear is just show up. Mm-hmm. Show up and show out.
You heard it here. You got to be not in the room, but in the stadium, because this is a sporting event. These are athletes. This is something you cannot miss. And the room can't contain the excitement that happens during those opening ceremonies.
It really can't.
So you've got to be there. You heard it here. Speaking of being there, I just want to go back to some of your past experiences really quickly and just hear one of your favorite memories, something that really saw like an impact in somebody's life or your life, just something that really sticks in your mind of like, this is why I'm doing this today.
So obviously working it in high school has always been super fun. And I love getting to watch my friends be buddies and serve and just all the things. But really the thing that sparked me the most is we did an interview. I don't know if you guys saw on our social media, but we did an interview with a girl named Ella a couple of weeks ago. And we sat down, asked her a few questions, just really got to know her. And I asked her this one question and I said, what advice would you give to your peers that are also competing in Special Olympics? And her answer was to be a winner. Mm-hmm. And I immediately got emotional, and I'm going to get emotional again because sports has always been something special to me. And it's always been something that's kept me going and just kept me plugged in. And I think that this community really rallies around athletic events. I think that that's something special about Habersham and other communities. And whenever she said that, I was just like, wow, like you get it. And I don't think when Ella said be a winner, I don't think she meant in the games. I think she meant in life. Like just because you have a disability, that doesn't mean you can't be a winner.
That's so true. And it sounds like I need to go watch that video.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one. And it sounds like social media is your way to really communicate with the community.
Absolutely.
What's going on beforehand and probably during the event and even after, like showcasing, hey, these were our athletes. This is what was going on. I know there's some students who might be doing some photo, video work there too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's ways that it's like, hey, if you can't make it for some reason, which there's really no excuse, it's too good to miss. There's still ways that you can like see the community really coming together.
Absolutely.
Social media. Who are you? Where do we follow you? How do we find you?
Yeah, so you guys can follow us over on Instagram and Facebook. Our handle is just Habersham Special Olympics. Super easy to find. You can see our interview videos. We plan on doing some more of those, and those are super special to watch. And then we have some pictures just from our artwork winners on there. First, second, and third place. Those are super cool. And then we just have a little graphic that shows the date, the time, all the information that you might need. And you were asking about ways that they could get involved. We have a community care event at Chick-fil-A next week. You have to place a mobile order and use a little code, and all the money will go to Special Olympics. It's Thursday, March 27th, and that's on our social media too.
So it sounds like there are plenty of ways to get involved, whether it's social media, going to this Chick-fil-A event, or just being on site the day of. Give us that information one more time, just the date, the time, and where to go.
April 4th. 9:30 a.m. at the football stadium at the 9th grade academy.
There you go. We all know where it is. That's where the Habersham Raiders play, and that's where you can go see these Special Olympians doing their stuff on April 4th. Kenzie, such an amazing opportunity to sit down with you today. Thank you for sharing your heart with us.
Thank you so much. Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.
Always.
Always. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been Daniel Purcell with Now We're Talking. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to check out our Spotify or YouTube pages where you can find content just like this. This has been Now We're Talking.